you live from Walker Grant Middle School, and in this video we're just going to be doing some simple review ideas. We're going to be working with maybe a 5th grade topic, but we always want to make sure we're on the same page, and that way we can always move forward to the next chapter. So we're going to be finding some medians in this, and so what does that mean? Well, when you think of a median, it's that part in the middle of the road. So if you were thinking when you're on the highway or on 95 or Route 1, whatever it may be, if you have your lanes, and you have your cars going down and your cars going up, again, the middle is called the median. But we'll keep it a lot simpler. That way you don't have to worry about driving it. So, given a set of numbers, you're trying to find the median of these values. So again, you want to make sure you can put these values in order from least to greatest. So we're going to start on the far left, and we're going to say, all right, we have 3 as our lowest, and each time you use a number, just cross it out. Just put one line through it, that way you can show that you used it. All right, so again, just be able to find these values for yourself. So it's saying 3, we have 5, 7, what else we got here? We got 12. And be able to just put one line through it, that way you can still see it, but you do want to show that you did use it. Alright, so now let's see, we got 21, we got 23, and even though there's the same number repeated, you want to make sure it has its own space. So you're going to say, alright, 23, each of those times. So we have actually 4 of them. Alright, again, just moving from least to greatest, we're going to have 29 is next. And we have 39, 40, and 56. So now that would be our greatest. Alright, a way that we can do this is we're able to kind of identify the smallest number, and we can call that the min. Again, that stands for minimum because that is the smallest, and that means the greatest is going to be that max. Alright, that's pretty straightforward because that's at the far ends or the extremes. And so we're trying to find, alright, what is right in the middle? So what number is right in the middle of all this? And you can kind of, it might be spaced a little bit differently, but there's a better way to find that. Again, if we're doing odd number, it will always give you one number to find, and so let's find that first. Again, if you put a check mark by it, meaning this, I can say, all right, in pairs, I want to say, all right, I use this number and this number. Pair off some numbers at a time. That way you can eliminate and find one middle number remaining. As soon as you find that one middle number, that is going to be your median. Again, that's the median of the entire set. So now, you can also see that the median, just like our road, it splits it into 2 halves. Again, we would have, our left lane or our lower half is going to be numbers 3 through 21, and then our upper half, or that right side, that's going to be 23 through 56. Since we said this number is our median, we don't need to use it again, and so we can just use the ones remaining. So now we have, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers. Since we have another odd number on this side, we're just going to get a simple median. So we're going to say, all right, of this lower half, what is our median? So again, I can cross out the ones I use. So I'm going to say, all right, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So we're left with that middle number. And again, that's going to be the median, but it's not going to be just a median. It's going to be the median of the lower half now. Lower half. Again, you want to make sure you can have those ideas in there for yourself. So again, it's pretty simple because we're saying, all right, well, I have 3 numbers on the right and I have 3 numbers to the left. On our upper half, again, we're saying 23 is right in the middle, and not just any 23, it's specifically this one. we're saying, all right, now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers. So again, I'm going to do the same idea. Pair off 2 numbers at a time, and you'll be left with one that you can call your median. However, you want to call this one the median of the upper half. Median of the upper half. If you can count numbers, if you can put those numbers in order, you can find the median, and you can set up our box plots, which we will be doing tomorrow. However, we want to make sure I can give you good examples for this. So now, what happens if you have an even number? Meaning, I have an even number of values in my set of numbers. So it says, put the following in order from least to greatest. So let's do that first. So let's say, all right, I'm going to have my lowest or my smallest number. I'm going to say that is, let's find out. Well, that's going to be our 72. Again, put one line through it to show I used it. It was 73. Another 73. 76. We have 77. We got an 80. 82. Again, we're just using a comma to kind of break apart those values, but we want to make sure that they are in order. Again, you want to keep going until you used all of your numbers, so that way you have none remaining. Alright, so now again, we said that this from left to right is the least to greatest. And so that means that, again, the easiest way to point out, we say this is the min, meaning the minimum, and this is our max, which is our maximum number, our greatest value. So let's see, it says since there are 10 numbers, meaning we have 10 values here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have to take the average of the middle two. And when we say average, what are we talking about? What do we mean? Well, luckily we have multiple meanings of the word mean, and that's just talking about the average. So let's find these middle two. So I'm going to put that check, just like we've been doing, put a check mark by the ones that we pair off. And what happens is this. We try to get down to one number, but there are 2 remaining. So how do we take the mean of those 2 numbers? Well, add those 2 together and divide by 2, meaning this. You do 77 plus 80 divided by 2, which is going to be 157 divided by 2, which is equal to, that's right, that's 78.5. And what did we just find? A lot of people want to say this word, but we have to remember this is the median. So that's that median of our entire set. So we want to label that as the median. Okay, so again, we break these numbers into 2 groups. And so we have 72 to 77 is our lower half. And then we have 80 to 95 is our upper half. All right, so let's say we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. Right in the middle is our median of the lower half, of the lower half. Let me write that correctly, half. And then again to the right, we're going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's going to be right in the middle again. I know this might get a little bit rough looking, but you always want to make sure you can see, all right, that's the median of the upper half now. The upper half. Okay. Make sure you can see, again, we have our 2 groups, our 2 halves. We have the median of the entire set. And we have the medians of the halves. Be sure if at any point in time you can pause the video, replay it for yourself, and ask questions. So now, moving to the back, it says this, your turn. Using the values given, find the median, the largest and the smallest number. Once you split those values, just like we've been doing, find the median in the lower half, and then find the median in the upper half. So I'll give you time to kind of practice this and try this out. So if you'd like to pause, try it for yourself, order them from least to greatest, and then solve. Alright, so hopefully you've paused by now and given yourself an ample opportunity. If you notice for that first one, the list is already from least to greatest, and so all you have to do is kind of eliminate pairs of numbers one at a time to find that first median. So we're going to say, alright, this is our smallest, so this is our min, our greatest is our max, and then, well, let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have 9 values. Again, that's an odd number. That means that right in the middle, I should just have one number. So it'll say, all right, what's in the middle? So let me check these off as I use them. So let's see. I want to reduce so that way I only have one number left. So we can say that's 17.9, not this one, but specifically that middle number is our median for the entire set. So that's our median. And so now, again, make sure you're seeing it. As I say label this value, I'm saying, hey, that's our median. I don't need to use that for our halves. So now I split these into 2 groups. And I say, all right, I have 4 numbers to the left, and I have 4 numbers to the right. That means I'm going to have to take an average. So let's see. I'm going to add these 2 together, and let me double check my values as well. All right, so add these 2 numbers together. So I'm saying 14.4 plus that 16.2. Add those together and divide by 2. So that's 15.3. Box that in and call that the median of the lower half. The lower half. Do the same idea on the upper half. Again, we aren't using this middle number because we already labeled it. And so out of these 4, we have these middle 2. Add them together, so we have 19.9 plus that 20.2. And we divide it by 2. Again, we're taking the average of those middle 2. And so our median of the upper half is going to be this 20.05. The median of upper half. All right. Again, be very mindful of the values that you have in here for yourself. Be sure they're in order from least to greatest. So for that second one, let me order these because we need to do that first. And so we'll say, all right, 26, we have 28, 32, 35, 35, 38, 45, 49, 51, 53, and 55. So how many numbers do we have? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Again, at the very end, we have our greatest and least, or the min and max. So we have an odd number. We're just going to have one middle number. So let's see. Let's check off the ones as we go along. Again, you're checking in pairs. So it might be helpful to get assistance from the person next to you. We are able to box in 38 and call that the median of the entire set. So that's our median. So that means that, again, I split these into 2 groups. I should have, let me move up for you a little bit. I split these into 2 groups, and so I should have the same number of values on both sides. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Very good. All right. Since I have an odd number again, I can just pick this middle number and say, all right, median of the lower half, and I can pick the middle number and say that's the median of the upper half. All right. You can make sure that you can have those values. Be sure to cross them out as you're using them. and eliminating any values that you may have. And the very last one, I can assure you, you're doing great. Make sure you're asking questions at any time. I have total complete faith in you. So let's say, all right, 28, we have 31, 46, 47, 49. Again, we're putting these in order from least to greatest first. Hopefully you have taken the time to double check my values. How many do we have? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So again, 9 values. That's going to give us a very similar to the first one on this page. So that means that we're going to have, again, our two ends are the min and max. And that leaves our pairing strategy that we've been using, and say, all right, that 49 right in the middle, box that in and call that our median of the entire set. So again, we use that median and we say, all right, break it into two parts. We now have 4 numbers on each side. So that means we have to take this average now. So again, when we go to pair off, we notice, hey, I need to add these two together. So I have 31 plus 46. That's going to be divided by 2, and so we should end up with that 38.5, and that's, what did we just find? That's the median of lower half. Lower half. Same idea on the right. Add them together and divide by 2. So we got 54 plus 58 divided by 2. That's going to be that 56, which is the median of the upper half. Be sure to ask questions for yourself and prepare yourselves for those box plots. And as always, super slam that subscribe button.